Yep.
Hello, my name is Paula Martinez.
I'm Andrea Garcia.
And I'm Gerardo, Chacón.
And today we're going to present BREXIT
NAFTA
And geopolitical risk.
Hope you enjoy it. On June 23, 2016, a whole country headed towards the unknown. 17.4 million people in the UK voted to be the first country to leave the European Union. Based on the Prime Minister's proposals, the UK will be out of the European Union by March 29, 2019. So, what's today's status? In March 19, 2018, the UK and the European Union met in Brussels, where they defined a 2-year transition plan. The transitional period will last from March 23, 2019 to December 31, 2020. Some of the negotiations that were discussed in Brussels included that in this period, citizens that arrive to UK would enjoy the same rights and guarantees as those who arrived before the Brexit. The UK will be able to sign, negotiate, and ratify any negotiation and trade deals within this period. The UK will still be party at the European Union existing trade deals with other countries. The UK share of fishing catch will still be guaranteed during this transition. One of the main effects of the transition period was that since it was established, the pound rose to its highest levels after the referendum. Anyways, the pound is still 5% under the level that it was before the referendum.
NAFTA is the name of the North America Free Trade Agreement. Mexico and the United States are facing the final stage of the NAFTA negotiations without their third partner, Canada. Even though the USA administration would prefer to do a bilateral deal with Mexico, Mexican officers want Canada to be part of the final agreement. Lori Wallat, the director of the World Trade Watch at Public Citizen, says that an initial deal between Mexico and the United States could bring Canada back to the negotiating tables to resolve remaining differences. But what's today's status?
Mexican Economy Secretary Gerardo said this week that there had been progress in the talks, especially in issues such as the rules of origin that do not refer to automotive industry.
Republican lawmakers and American industries, especially farmers, have been criticizing Trump trade policies because they have been affecting their businesses by reducing their access to foreign markets.
Besides them, Mexico and Canada didn't consent USA proposal of changing the agreement, forcing automobile manufacturing into the US and allowing members to easily leave the act.
One of the most difficult topics that hasn't been discussed yet is the clause on dissent, proposed by the United States and that implies revising the agreement every 5 years.
Time is running short for Mexican President Enrique Peña Nieto to sign the agreement before he leaves his charge. It is known that over the past year of negotiations, Trump's administration has failed to meet the deadline.
Although the deal is expected to be concluded this year, with positive outcomes for the three nations, it is still unsure as many topics remain unsettled.
For a long time now, North Korea has been supported by Russia and China in political, economical, and military affairs. In 2017, several tests took place in the Korean Peninsula. The world's concern right now is to eradicate North Korea's nuclear weapon program, because it puts in danger a lot of countries in the Korean Peninsula and surroundings. A big number of countries and international bodies such as the UN had imposed political and commercial sanctions in this country. 89% of the exports go to China and 90% of them come from this same country. Charcoal represents the 40% of all the exports from North Korea, and last year China had stopped the importation of this product and joining the international community. This year, the North Korean Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un agreed to put an end in the nuclear weapon program and bring peace to the world. This means that the markets of all the world are gonna gain stability by this treaty of peace.
The Trans-Pacific Partnership started in 2005 as an agreement between the Rim Pacific countries, Brunei, New Zealand, and Singapore, to liberalize trade and investment. 3 years later, the United States, led by George Bush, joined this group, followed by other countries like Canada, Mexico, Vietnam, Japan, Australia, Peru, and Malaysia. After 19 rounds of negotiations, these 12 countries made a mega regional deal with the purpose of integrating the Asia-Pacific economic area. This agreement consists in 30 chapters that include different aspects of global trade, such as e-commerce, restrictions on monopolies, intellectual properties, and environmental and labor standards. However, the opposition argues that this deal generates a lot of overseas manufacturing jobs, it gives corporations too much power, some of their standards are vague, and it increases inequality and undercuts wages.
Besides the other risks mentioned, there are other risks that can affect global economy. First of all, there are tensions between Iran and USA. It is known that both nations made a deal to reduce long-term sanctions to Tehran in exchange for limits in the Iran's nuclear program. Trump's government, supporting Saudi Arabia, will try to contain Iran by punishing them for violating human rights, terrorism, and ballistic missile tests. If this happens, the agreement can fail. As a result, Iran will increase their nuclear program, and the threat of attacks from USA and Israel would return to settle the region. The second one is the Cold War technology. The development of new information technology is causing a struggle between countries that are fighting for world economic power. As an example, China and the United States will compete to dominate the supercomputing and artificial intelligence markets. With this fragmentation of common technological resources, countries must decide who to trust and what products and standards to adopt. It can affect security and markets, particularly when talking about global viruses. The third and last one is China rising. China has been increasing its influence around the world by redefining its external environment with new rules, the most effective investment and global trade strategy, and with promotions from technological Chinese companies. As the politics in Washington nowadays demonstrate incoherence, Beijing promises non-interference in political and economic life of countries, gaining allies. The conflict in trade between China and the United States is expected to increase this year. Meanwhile, the business environment has to adapt to new practices and standards.